Today the session is on SBL on fertility. Uh, this will be an interactive session. I would like you to type your message in chat box so I will see who is responding. Okay. So first of all, I want to know the definition. What is subfertility or infertility? What is the definition? Can you hear me? If anyone is having any trouble, kindly let me know in the chat box. Okay, we'll be going a bit fast because the slides are more and the time is short. So I want you to respond promptly in the chat box. Can anyone tell me what is the definition of infertility or subfertility? Okay, you are right. Only who's given me the answer? Zenith has given me the answer. Zenith, you are right. It is the unable to conceive despite regular unprotected sexual intercourse over specific period of time, like 1 year. We specify the time as 1 year. Okay. Okay, right. Sakina has given me the answer, and Hadika. Okay. Okay. So fertility is the inability to conceive despite regular unprotected sexual intercourse over a period of 1 year. Okay. Mostly the couples spontaneously conceive 57% conceive in 3 months, and roughly we say 72% conceive in 6 months, 85 conceive in about a year, and 93% conceive in 2 years. If a couple is coming earlier than 1 year, so we will be counseling them that after 1 year, 80 there are 85% chances that they can conceive, and in 2 years there are 93% chances that they can conceive. Okay, so we have a scenario. I will uh, show you the scenario. The scenario of a 31 years old female teacher who is married since 3 years. She's nulliparous. Her last menstrual period was on 22nd of June 2000 and sorry, this is not 12, this is 21. Okay, with regular cycles, and she attends OPD, sorry, with her husband, and she is unable to conceive. Okay, I should correct this 21 karna. Okay. Okay, so I made the correction. This is 21. Okay, so she came with complaint of she is unable to conceive for last 3 years. So this time 3 years is I think more than 1 year time has gone. So she came with her husband. So my question is, what will be the history points and from the female partner and from the male partner? First, will do what information will you be eliciting in the history from the couple? Can anybody tell me? Please be fast in typing because we have to cover a lot in this. And we just have got an hour. Okay. Do they live together? This is the most important question. Are they living together or not? Maybe the husband is living abroad and the female is not living with her husband, and she came that I'm not unable to conceive. Okay, frequency of intercourse, husband procedure, profession. First, tell me as a couple what you will ask. Like she said, living together or not. One said frequency of coitus. This is a couple history. Okay. We'll later on go in female history and male history. Okay. Relationship with the partner. Age of both partners. Okay. Okay. As a couple, age of both partners. Okay. As a couple, what we'll be asking. Okay. I will be showing you. Married previously. This is most married previously. Are they married previously? Any kids there? Okay. So, as a couple, we'll ask, is this the first marriage of both partners, or is this the second or third marriage and they are having previously children with their previous partners? Okay. First marriage is important from both partners. And if this is the second marriage, then you have to ask the partner, does he or she has any children from their previous partner? Okay. Is this a consanguineous marriage? Are they both living together? And coital frequency. Okay. These are the couple history. Means you are asking from both the partners. Okay. Any coital difficulty? Do they experience any difficulty in coitus like this? Perunia, female is experiencing dyspareunia or vaginismus, because of which their they are having any coital difficulty, or the male is having any erectile problems causing coital difficulty. Okay, what history will you ask from the female partner? From the female, what history points will you ask? Okay, menstrual history is important. Okay, and what else? So menstrual history, drugs taken, history of contraception use. Okay, maybe they don't want children in the early 2 years of their marriage and they are on contraceptives. Yes, you can ask. And this is a good point because she's a teacher by profession. Maybe she doesn't want any children previously, but now she wants children. Okay. Okay, now I'm telling you the history points which will be asking from the female. Okay, note down these history points because when you come to the wards or in OPD, you should be taking a detailed history from both the couple. Okay. Okay, now we'll be starting. You will be asking about headache, visual disturbance. This is to rule out any hyperprolactinemia. Okay, so visual, if there's a pituitary adenoma, prolactinoma, this can cause headache, visual disturbance. You can just ask कि आपको सर में दर्द रहता है, आंखों में धुंधलापन या आंखें कमजोर तो नहीं महसूस, नजर कमजोर तो महसूस नहीं होती. Then you will be asking about acne, hirsutism, weight gain. चेहरे पे दाने तो नहीं है, बाल तो नहीं है, वजन ज्यादा तो नहीं है, बढ़ता हुआ वजन ज्यादा तो नहीं है, मतलब यू हैव टू आस्क कि आपने वेट पुट ऑन तो नहीं किया कुछ सालों में. ठीक है. देन हीट एंड कोल्ड एंड टॉलरेंस, ज्यादा सर्दी तो नहीं लगती, ज्यादा गर्मी तो नहीं लगती आपको, एक्सेसिव हीट, एक्सेसिव कोल्ड एंड शी कांट टॉलरेट इट. ओके. एनी निपल डिस्चार्ज टू लुक फॉर गैलेक्टोरिया. आस्क अबाउट गैलेक्टोरिया के पेशेंट को अगर कोई डिस्चार्ज होता हो तो. सही है. लुकिंग फॉर प्रोलेक्टिनोमा. Then fever, prolonged cough, history of tuberculosis. This rule out any pelvic tuberculosis तो नहीं हो गई उसको कि पहले उसको primary tuberculosis थी in the lungs and now she is having any. If she has a previous history of TB, then secondly she can have TB in the abdomen. Abdominal TB हो सकता है. So you will inquire about the history of tuberculosis. Then lower abdominal pain, dysmenorrhea, dyspareunia. Either she's having difficulty while having coitus, dysmenorrhea. Okay, dysmenorrhea is painful menstruation. Okay. Then asking about vaginal discharge, is it foul smelling? You should think of pelvic inflammatory diseases, सही है? Pelvic infections. Then feeling of a mass in abdomen. Why you are asking this? Because you have to ask कि आपको पेट में कोई रसोली तो महसूस नहीं होती या कोई पेट बढ़ता हुआ महसूस तो नहीं हो रहा. Because you should think of fibroid or any ovarian mass. Okay, any history of weight loss, loss of appetite, excessive exercise. क्यों ये पूछ रहे हैं? Because in anorexia nervosa patient या excessive exercise athletic patients में भी क्या होता है? Anovulation होती है. That can lead to anovulation is what? There is no ovulation at in the cycle, and when ova is not formed, then she can't conceive, na? Okay. Now, next, you will ask about menstrual cycle. Are they regular, or she has amenorrhea for few months, or the cycles are disturbed, or she's having intermenstrual bleeding, postcoital bleeding. So, your menstrual history is most important. Okay. Drug history. You will ask about the drugs. Are she have she taken any steroids, NSAIDs, any chemotherapy, any she's on any antidepressants, any treatment taken previously for conceiving. ठीक है? If she has taken any ovulation induction medication. Okay. Awareness about fertile days. This is important. You will ask about the patient. आपको पता है कौन से दिन आपके खास दिन होते हैं when the egg is formed. Okay. Uh, so you have to ask about fertile days. Maybe she doesn't know which are the fertile days, and she does not have coitus in those fertile days, and she has coitus in the days which are not favorable for conceiving. So you have to ask about fertile days as well. क्या उसको पता है? And in counseling you will tell her about her fertile days. कि कौन से दिन होते हैं. ठीक है? If she is ovulating at day 14, so you will the fertile days will be 4 days before and 4 days after the ovulation. Right? Okay, nutritional history is most important. Is she dietary sufficient या dietary deficiency है, उसके vitamin deficiencies हैं, ठीक है? Okay, now male history. What questions will you ask from the male partner? Somebody previously said male की age and male की क्या बोला था? हाँ, husband profession. Okay, history of any addiction, occupation. Okay, we'll do male की क्या क्या पूछेंगे? Yes, history of mums orchitis भी होता है. Okay, you will ask about the age, education, occupation, any chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, because diabetes can lead to ejaculatory problem. सही है? Renal, liver diseases. Okay, history of any surgery, any inguinal hernia surgery, any testicular surgery. ठीक है? These are the surgeries which can affect the genitals. Okay, testicular surgery, surgery for hydrocele or varicocele if there are any. Okay, in males, further question, what will you be asking about the drugs? If he is taking any antipsychotic, antidepressant or steroids, any addiction. So, addiction history is most important. History of any trauma like spinal cord injury, testicular trauma. Okay, radiotherapy. Okay, history of childhood infections like mumps, meningitis, and this is important, extramarital affairs, sexually transmitted diseases. You will be asking about any extramarital affairs in private. You have to use some कोड वर्ड्स लाइक मैं आपसे कुछ ऐसी बातें पूछूंगा जो हमें इस मसले के लिए पूछना जरूरी होती हैं. यू हैव टू पुट सम वर्ड्स. आप डायरेक्टली पूछोगे द हस्बैंड गेट ऑफेंसिव. So you will ask about STDs, any urethral discharge, penile discharge, or any vesicle formation in the genital region or any itching. Okay, this is a husband history. Okay, now this history you have taken from both partners. You have to take these history points from the both partners. Now, what examination will you be doing in the female? What is the specific clinical examination in this couple? I'm asking about specific, जो जो हमने अभी points किए हैं ना उनसे related. I'm asking about the examination, not TSH. Investigation नहीं पूछा. Okay, pelvic examination. And what else? हमने अभी किया ना कि प्रोलैक्टिन तो नहीं बढ़ा हुआ, थायराइड के सिम्टम्स, तो वो चीज एग्जामिन नहीं करोगे तुम? ओके, not directly MRI brain. First, you have to look clinically. This is clinical examination, not investigations. In female, you will be doing examination. Okay, visual field testing से पहले कुछ कर सकते हैं? Okay, पहले you have to look for the BMI of the patient, her weight, her height. ठीक है? If she is obese or if she is underweight, so there are chances that she is be having anovulatory cycles. Okay, breast examination करोगे to look for what? Okay, then general appearance of the patient. Is she cachectic looking? Is she obese? Okay, nutritionally deficient तो नहीं लग रही. Okay, then vitals are important. Is she hypertensive तो नहीं है patient? Okay, then thyroid examination. You will be looking for the thyroid if there is any thyroid nodule or goiter, or the thyroid appears normal on examination. Any hirsutism, galactoria, acne. Okay, galactoria you will see on the breast while doing breast examination. Any nipple discharge. Okay. Then hirsutism you will see the hair growth, excessive hair growth on the chin, upper abdomen. The Ferryman Galway scoring जो I have told you previously. Ferryman Galway scoring करोगे, in which you will see the hirsute areas. Like what are the hirsute areas? The upper lips, chin, chest, upper arms, abdomen, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, back, upper back, lower back, and legs. These are the areas where you will looking for the hirsutism. Okay, acne you will look for it on the face. Okay, then abdominal and pelvic examination for abnormal mass. So yeah, any abnormal mass you are finding, any fibroid uterus, you feel any mass like fibroid or any cyst or any endometriotic mass or nodule you are feeling per abdominally or on pelvic examination, any per vaginally. Okay, these diagnoses will be confirmed by on investigations. You are currently I am asking about the examination. Okay, and what next will be, what examination will you do in a male? In gynae, we don't do male examination. We send the male partner to the urologist or endocrinologist where they will be examined by a male doctor. What examination, specific examination you will be doing in a male? Okay, BMI. Then vitals. Okay. Okay. Testicular examination, basically. Scrotal is testicular examination. Okay, male, you will be looking at the BMI of the male, journal build, his vitals, then testicular examination of test for what is that? What testicular examination for what? For testicular volume. If there are small testes, it could be due to testicular failure. The consistency, any mass you felt in the testis. Okay, in the scrotal examination, while doing the examination, you find any other mass, vast differences, varicocele. If you find any varicocele, hydrocele, or any surgical scar you find, you have to look for that. Okay, now Male, we don't have pelvic examination. This is testicular examination. Okay. If there are no testes, you don't feel any testes in the scrotum, then you will be looking in the inguinal areas. Okay. Now coming on to the investigation. What investigation will you offer to a female? What investigation will you advise the couple? First, I will briefly tell you, as there are three main concern in a female for conception. Okay. What are the three main factors which are concerned with the conception? These are, okay. Three main concerns are: one is production of ovum from the ovaries and their release. Like, what is this? This is ovulation. That the female is having ovulation regular in regular cycles or not. Next is normal functioning of the fallopian tubes, because fallopian tubes are the place where the ova gets fertilized, and from there it moves towards the uterus to get implanted in the uterus. Okay. So normal functioning fallopian tubes are there or not, or there are any problem in the fallopian tube. Third thing is normal uterus for implantation of fertilized ovum in the endometrium. Okay. So these three places should be normal. Like, oh, there should be ovulation regularly, there should be fallopian tube should be patent, and the uterus should be normal for implantation. Okay. What investigation will you advise the couple? In females, what investigation will you carry out? Few have answered FSH, LS, CBC, DSH, right? You are right. Okay. If you want to see at which day is the patient ovulating or not, so you will go for a day 12, 20, day 21 serum progesterone. This serum progesterone tells you what? It tells you that the patient has ovulated, because corpus luteum makes serum progesterone. Okay. So when the egg is released from the follicle, that follicle become corpus luteum, and that corpus luteum now starts secreting progesterone. So you on day 21 you will be checking serum progesterone. If the value is more than 30, it means the patient has ovulated. If it is less than 20, it means the patient has not ovulated. Okay, is it clear? Day 21 progesterone. Okay. Other hormonal assay, what other hormonal assay you will look for? Serum prolactin, thyroid assays like TSH, FSH, LH on day 2. This day 2 is important because we look for, okay, I'm going fast. Okay, thyroid assay, FSH, LH on day 2 of the cycle. It is a day 2 of the menstrual cycle. Like this is a day 21 of the ovulation. No, if she has shorter cycle, then she won't be ovulating on day 14. She will be ovulating earlier. Okay. So we have to take out the dates. Accordingly, we will be prescribing serum testosterone. But in a 28-day cycle, we in a regular 28-day cycle, on day 21 we go for serum progesterone. Yes, day 2 after her periods. Okay, thyroid SFSH and anti-Mullerian hormone is also done to look for the ovarian reserves. Okay, we don't regularly do AMH. This is used for fertile couples where we are going for IVF, but AMH is also used for ovarian reserve. Okay, then tubal patency. We are checking are the fallopian tubes all right or not. So how we check tubal patency? Fallopian tube patency. This is by hysterosalpingography, in which we put the dye through the cervix into the uterus, and we take X-ray imaging and check the dye is going into the passing through the fallopian tube, entering in the abdominal cavity or not. This is hysterosalpingography. The other tests are HICOSY. This is hysterocontrast sonography. This is okay. We insert the dye and we do ultrasound through ultrasound. In this, we are doing the X-ray. In this, we are doing the ultrasound and checking if the dye is going from the fallopian tube into the abdominal cavity or not, to look for tubal patency. And the gold standard test is what? Laparoscopy and dye test. Okay, in hysterosalpingography, no, not hysteroscopy is just for visualizing the uterine cavity from inside. It doesn't tell you about the fallopian tube patency. Okay, in fallopian tube patency, we'll be doing hysterosalpingography, in which we insert a cannula per vaginally, and we push the dye through it, and it traces the dye from where it is entering. The dye is going from the cervix above into the cavity, uterine cavity, and passing through the fallopian tube and going to the abdominal cavity. If this is happening bilaterally, it means the tubes are patent. Okay. The gold standard is laparoscopy and dye test. What we'll do in laparoscopy? In laparoscopy, we insert the ports in through the abdomen, and we push the dye through the cervix. Per vaginally, we push the dye, and through a laparoscopic camera, we check the dye. Is it coming in the abdominal cavity or not? So this is a gold standard test. But this is an invasive test. So we first consider hysterosalpingography, because it's an outpatient test and it requires X-rays. Okay, next, now you have to check are the ova is forming or not. So what investigation will you carry out? You will go for ultrasound pelvis for follicular tracking and any pelvic pathology. Okay. Follicular tracking is what? Follicular tracking is we are checking the follicle. Are they forming? Are they these are the antral follicle count basically. We count the follicles, how many follicles are getting matured enough to be ovulating in the near future. So usually we do this scan on day 12 of the cycle. Okay. And any pelvic pathology means you will be looking for any uterine pathology like uterine masses, fibroid, which is obscuring the uterine cavity, and it is compressing the convolution and not letting the opening fallopian tube opening. It is impinging on the fallopian tube. Okay. Any ovarian cyst, any hydrosalpinx, you can find out on the ultrasound. So this follicular tracking ultrasound is usually done in a 28-day cycle. It is usually done on day 12. Okay. Now, what investigation will you be doing in the male? Okay. In male, the main male factor concerned with conception is his anatomy and function of the mature sperms. Like if ultrasound we are doing on day 12 of the cycle. Okay. To look for follicle maturation. Okay. Okay. In males, what test? Normal anatomy of what? Normal anatomy of the male genital tract. Like the test is vas deferens, and then coming into the penile urethra. So we check the what investigation we'll do first. We'll be doing semen analysis. Okay, in semen analysis, we'll find out about if there are normal sperm count, if there is any pathology, if there are any motile sperms or not. Okay, sperms are present or not. Okay, other test investigation hormonal assay like FSH, testosterone, prolactin, even thyroid test we do in a male. Okay, now I want to know what are the probable cause in a female that can lead to infertility or subfertility. We have done the investigation. Now I want to know the causes. So we'll go with the scenario. Okay. Okay. PCOS. What PCOS cause? It causes. Okay. PID. Right. यस, पीसीओएस कॉजेज एन ओव्यूलेशन। सही है, जब ओव्यूलेशन ही नहीं होगी, जब एग ही नहीं फॉर्म होगा तो फर्टिलाइज कैसे होगा? ओके, okay, now I will tell you the causes. This is anovulation. The most common cause is polycystic ovary syndrome. Then hypothalamic causes, you have to look for excessive exercise, anorexia nervosa. You will be asking about depression history, any excessive exercise history. So this lead to anorexia nervosa, and these exercises also causes external exercises also causes anovulation. Okay. Pituitary में craniopharyngioma, which is causing compression of the pituitary. Systemic diseases, excessive stress, endocrine disease like thyroid disease, congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Then tubal causes क्या हो सकती हैं? ये तो एनोवुलेशन की causes पढ़ ली हमने पीछे. These are anovulatory causes. सही है. Now what are the causes related to tubal factor? Okay, PID, right? Okay, chlamydia infection are all included in PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. Yes, previous pelvic surgery. You should ask about any history of ectopic pregnancy and a patient has got self-injectomy or self-injotomy. Okay. ट्यूबल कॉजेज में हमारे पास जो मेन है वो क्या है? एंडोमेट्रियोसिस है, pelvic tuberculosis, pelvic inflammatory disease, and fibroid which is impinging on the cornual end. Okay, means it is compressing the opening of the fallopian tube into the uterus, so blocking the tube. Okay, what are the probable causes in a male? मेल की कॉजेज बताओ. ओके. ओके, मेल की कॉजेज. मेल में क्या क्या कॉजेज हो सकते हैं? ये ट्यूबल हो गए. मेल की कॉजेज में there could be hypergonadotropic hypogonadism leading to complete testicular failure, Klinefelter syndrome, Carter-Jenner syndrome. In Carter-Jenner syndrome, it is an autosomal recessive genetic disorder in which there is ciliary disorder. Okay, hypogonadotropic इसमें क्या आ गया? हाइपोथैलेमिक कॉजेज आ गए, कैलमैन सिंड्रोम आ गया, टेस्टिकुलर ट्रॉमा आ गया, वेरिकोसील, हाइड्रोसील, अनडिसेंडेड टेस्टिस, impairing spermatogenesis. Okay, what other causes? Okay, obstructive causes like absence of vas deferens, congenital absence of vas deferens किसमें होता है? इवन सिस्टिक फाइब्रोसिस में भी होता है. Okay, inflammatory causes like mum orchitis, inflammatory epidermolysis, and drug history like steroids, alcohol, chemotherapeutic drugs, any hypertension, any antidepressant that can cause erectile dysfunction. ठीक है. Other causes में क्या आ गया? Environmental causes like heat radiation, ionizing radiation. That's why male profession is most important because heat can also lead to low sperm count. Okay, endocrine में hyperprolactinemia आ गया. Okay, next, can anybody tell me what are the normal semen parameters according to WHO? Next, we'll be seeing the serum. I'm not showing you the slide because I've mentioned all the values on it. So, what is the normal semen parameters? If you're seeing the report, what values you should know it should be having? Okay, total sperm count बताओ कितना होना चाहिए? नॉर्मल टोटल स्पर्म काउंट मिनिमम कितना होना चाहिए? to say that the report is a normal. Okay, this is not total sperm count. This is sperm concentration. 15 million is per ml is normal sperm concentration. Okay, I will show you the slide. According to WHO, semen volume should be minimum. These are the minimum values. इससे ज़्यादा भी हो तो ठीक है. ठीक है. Semen volume is 1.5 ml. Total sperm count is 39 million per ejaculate. And sperm concentration is 15 million per ml. Okay, there's a difference. This is total sperm. This is per ml concentration कितनी है. Progressive motility should be 32%. Sperm morphology should be 4% normal forms होने चाहिए. Vitality should be vital sperm should be 58%. pH should be more than 7.2. ठीक है. This is a according to WHO. This is a normal semen parameters. Okay, you should be when the patient is bringing a semen analysis report, you should know the normal semen parameters. According to which you will say कि ये एजूस्पर्मिया है. एजूस्पर्मिया में तो तुम्हें स्पर्म काउंट ही नहीं मिलेंगे. ठीक है. या ओलिगो में तुम्हें 39 से कम मिलेंगे, 15 से कम मिलेंगे. ठीक है. क्लियर है. अच्छा, now we come to our scenario because we have discussed about the investigations, we have discussed the causes, we have discussed a lot of things. Now coming on to the scenario. Okay. On history, the patient is giving, you have taken the history. This patient, we are discussing the patient which we started our presentation with. So yeah, she's a teacher by profession and she is Nali Paris, 31 years old, married since 3 years, and she came to your OPD. She has regular cycles. She came to OPD with complaint of unable to conceive for last 3 years. Okay. Now further history, when you ask about further history, she said she has regular cycles with normal flow, but she has severe dysmenorrhea and dyspareunia. So yeah, making her coital frequency reduced. Okay. There is no history of any ovulation induction treatment. ONI is ovulation induction. No, she has not previously taken any ovulation induction treatment. No heat cold intolerance. No past medical surgical history. In a personal history, and socioeconomic is also satisfactory. Her husband is a civil engineer, 42 years old, with no addiction, no past medical surgical history of the husband. And on female examination, you find out that her BMI is 30. That is, she is obese. Okay, she has normal vitals, her vitals, thyroid is normal, no galacturia. On per abdominally, you find a abdomen which is soft but mild suprapubic tenderness she is feeling on your examination. Okay, on per speculum, you do a per speculum examination in OPD and you find a normal looking cervix with no any discharge, like you rule out PID, you rule out a normal looking cervix है. अच्छा, you are ruling out things. ठीक है, like galacturia में you have ruled out prolactinoma, thyroid में you have ruled out any thyroid disease. सही है. Okay. On pervaginal, you find a retroverted uterus, which is tender with restricted mobility, and you find a mass of around 3 to 4 centimeter, which you felt in the right fornix, and you felt nodularity in the pouch of Douglas. So on your findings, can you make any diagnosis? Like she is giving the history of dysmenorrhea, dyspareunia, and on examination, you find suprapubic tenderness, which is mild, but there is tenderness. And on examination, you find a retroverted uterus with restricted mobility, with a like a cyst in the right fornix. Yeah, good. This is endometriosis in your clinical diagnosis. Like you make a diagnosis that this is a retroverted uterus and it is restricted mobility and there is a mass. You felt a mass. So your diagnosis will be going towards endometriosis because she has complained of dysmenorrhea and dyspareunia as well. So I make a scenario towards endometriosis, okay, which is leading to subfertility. Okay, on investigation, you find all baseline normal investigation, and on transvaginal, you find a uterus that is retroverted and it is normal in size. No mass in the myometrium, like you are ruling out fibroid. Yeah. You have ruled out fibroid na? Yes, you can make the second diagnosis as fibroid as well, but now, but fibroid is not tender. Okay, there's no mass in the myometrium, so you have ruled out fibroid. Now, on right ovary, in right ovary, you find it enlarged on ultrasound, that is 6.4 into 5 cm, and it shows cyst with a low level internal echos. Okay, that is 5.7 into 3.7 cm. It could be, and on ultrasound it is mentioned that it could be an hemorrhagic cyst or an endometriotic cyst, and the left ovary is normal. So this low level internal echoes are mostly seen in endometriotic cyst. Okay, and uterus retroverted is a sign that this is endometriosis. Okay, then you investigate the male partner and the semen analysis came out to be normal. So, what will be your management plan? After this, we'll be ending up our session, but I want to know what is the management plan you'll be managing. OCPs हो गए. Okay. Patient want to conceive, so you have to manage her accordingly. OCPs देके तो you are making her infertile more for more period, because OCPs are what? These are contraceptives, na? Okay, good. But surgical resection से पहले क्या करोगे? सबसे पहले तो you will be counseling the couple ना? Counsel करोगे regarding the diagnosis what you have made on investigation, and the diagnosis, first you clinically assess the patient, then you make a diagnosis on investigation as well. तो confirm हो गई ना diagnosis, तो now you will be counseling the couple. पहले तो नहीं कर दोगे counsel, ठीक है? Now you will be counseling the couple. The patient has endometriosis. अगर मेल में कोई abnormality आई, you find any abnormality in semen analysis, then you will refer the male partner to the urologist as well. अभी तो मैंने सिंपल सा सिनेरियो बनाया कि मेल का सीमेन एनालिसिस नॉर्मल, मेल में कोई हिस्ट्री नहीं डाली, बट इफ देयर इज एनी पैथोलॉजी इन मेल सीमेन analysis report, then you have to send the mail to a urologist as well. Okay, so because being a gynecologist you are treating the female partner, but अगर मेल में कोई मसला है तो he should also be treated. You will counsel the couple, being on this scenario, you will counsel the couple regarding the diagnosis that she is having endometriosis, and it because of endometriosis she is unable to conceive, because instead of ovulating for there is a cyst formation in the ovary. Okay, then because she is obese, you will be advising her lifestyle modification, like she has to reduce her weight towards normal BMI, and she has to have a good diet, and she has to do exercise in order to reduce her weight, because these also causes hormonal disturbances which can lead to an ovulation. Okay, then you will further investigate. What further investigation will you require? देखो, शी हैज एंडोमेट्रियोसिस, यू आर सस्पेक्टिंग कि इसको ओव्यूलेशन प्रॉब्लम्स तो हो रहे होंगे, तो प्रोजेस्टेरॉन कराना इतना जरूरी नहीं है. तो फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आई मीन tubal patency, you should look for tubal patency as well, because endometriosis affects the fallopian tube as well, so you should look for tubal patency as well, जिसकी ट्यूब्स पेटेंट है कि नहीं है, या ट्यूब्स में भी तुम्हें वहां पे भी जो है क्या है, ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन हुई हुई है because of endometriosis. Then you will be planning for surgery. Okay, what type of surgery? Laparoscopic cystectomy. You will be removing that cyst, endometriotic cyst, by laparoscope. And then you will ask the patient, after the surgery you will be advising the patient to have spontaneous conception, and after you will be leaving her for spontaneous conception for about 2 to 3 months, and if she doesn't conceive spontaneously, then you will go for ovulation and induction. Okay, ovulation induction में हम क्या करते हैं? We prescribe the some medications which causes follicular growth. Okay, so this is ovulation induction. From the start of menses on from day 2 to day from day 2 to day 7, we prescribe some medication which are there for formation of ovum. Okay, so we ovulate and then induction is done with, like we follow that cycle. Like if we are giving ovulation induction treatment, we will be following the patient continuously, monitoring the patient. Like if we are giving ovulation induction treatment from day 2 of our cycle, यानी कि periods के second day से if we are starting treatment and we are giving the medication for 5 days, then we will track the follicle. Either इस medication पे follicle बना कि नहीं बना, on कौन से day पे we will track the follicle. Can anybody tell me? No, not day 14. अभी मैंने क्या बताया था follicular tracking में? Day 12. You will be tracking the follicle on day 12. यानी day 12 पे अच्छा डे 12 पे क्या होगा, वी विल बी डूइंग अ फॉलिकुलर ट्रैकिंग अल्ट्रासाउंड to look for if the follicle is has formed on these medication or not. If you have a bigger follicle like 1.8 into 1.8 is the adequate size of a follicle, अगर इतने साइज का follicle बन गया है इससे बड़े साइज का, then you will give beta hcg injection which causes rupture of this follicle and causes ovulation. Okay, डे 12 पे हम फिर उसको एक इंजेक्शन लगाते हैं, दैट इज आईवीएफसी. यूजुअली कंपनी नेम इज आईवीएफसी. दिस इज बीटा गोनाडोट्रोपिन. ये this injection causes rupture of the follicle and the patient ovulates. And meanwhile we ask the patient, we advise the patient to have coitus with her husband because these are the peak days for her to conceive. सही है. तो हम इस साइकिल को पूरा मॉनिटर करेंगे. फ्रॉम डे 2 से हम उसको मेडिकेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे, फॉर 5 days देंगे. डे 12 पे हम उसका स्कैन कराएंगे. अगर स्कैन पे अच्छा फॉलिकल मिल रहा है, देन विल गिव एन इंजेक्शन फॉर टू कॉज रप्चर ऑफ दैट फॉलिकल. ओव्यूलेशन होगा. उसके बाद वी आस्क द पेशेंट टू हैव क्वाइटिस विद हर हस्बैंड ऑन एवरी ऑल्टरनेट डे फॉर 5 to 6 days. हम उसको क्वाइटिस का एडवाइस करेंगे. ठीक है. एंड देन we'll ask the patient to know कि उसके बाद फिर वो अपनी नेक्स्ट साइकिल का वेट करे कि उसको आ रही है नहीं आ रही. इफ द उसको नहीं आती नेक्स्ट साइकिल, देन यू विल एडवाइज हर बीटा एससीजी टेस्टिंग टू लुक कि वो हैज शी कंसीव्ड और नॉट. ठीक है. इस तरह से आप उसको मैनेजमेंट करेंगे. ये सिर्फ एक एंडोमेट्रियोसिस का था. अगर कोई और कॉज नजर आए मिलेगी तो हम उसके अकॉर्डिंगली उसको ट्रीट करेंगे. यू हैव टू मैनेज अकॉर्डिंग टू द कॉज. ठीक है. इस पेशेंट का सिनेरियो एंडोमेट्रियोसिस पे बनाया था, सो you have to treat like endometriosis. Okay, someone has asked कि OCPs reverse the condition and then we discontinue. देखो OCPs देने में क्या है, it will take time, it will not relieve her cyst immediately. ठीक है. फिर उसको फर्दर लॉन्ग उसका ट्रीटमेंट चलेगा. मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट वी कैन गिव, but if she want to conceive and she has past 3 years she is unable to conceive and she's 31 years old, her husband is 42 years old, considering their ages, so we go for a surgical treatment. Okay, and then we go for ovulation induction if she does not conceive in 3 cycles post surgery spontaneously. ठीक है. endometriosis का treatment is OCPs, but OCPs are what? Contraceptives. So they won't let the patient to conceive. Okay, so ये हमारा सिनेरियो हो गया है. SBL हो गया है. Okay, now anyone has any questions to ask? 5 minutes are more. 5 minutes are left. समझ आ गया सबको? If there is any query, you can ask. You will phrase like, मैं आपसे कुछ ऐसे questions पूछूंगी. You have to use code words. Okay. You have to use, मैं आपसे कुछ ऐसे सवाल पूछूंगी जो हम हर मरीज से इस मसले के लिए पूछते हैं, तो प्लीज आप इसको बुरा नहीं मानाइएगा। इस तरह से यू हैव टू यूज सम वर्डिंग्स बिफोर आस्किंग, डायरेक्टली आप नहीं पूछोगे। दिस इज नॉट अ लेक्चर भाई, दिस इज SBL, ये तुम लोग को करनी थी। आई सेड ना, हम 3 साइकिल्स तक स्पॉन्टेनियस कंसीव के लिए पेशेंट को छोड़ेंगे। विल आस्क के वो खुद से ही कंसीव करे। फर्टाइल डेज उसको एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे, ठीक है। फर्टाइल डेज कौन से होंगे, इफ शी इज ओव्यूलेटिंग एंड उसके हिसाब से निकालेंगे। देखो अगर शॉर्ट साइकिल्स हैं तो उसके देखो, अगर शॉर्ट साइकिल्स हैं, ठीक है, या अगर लॉन्ग साइकिल्स हैं, तो तुम्हें कैसे पता कौन सा पेशेंट कौन से दिन ओव्यूलेट कर रहा है? तो तुमने अकॉर्डिंगली उसको निकालना है। कैसे निकालोगे? कि उसकी लास्ट 2-3 मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल्स LMP से उसको तुम लास्ट के 14 डेज आर सिक्रीटरी फेज में आते हैं ना, तो तुम उनको उनको तो 14 ही रखोगे। उससे पहले जो डे बनेगा दैट विल बी द ओव्यूलेटरी डे, ठीक है। जैसे डे 28 डे साइकिल में कौन सा ओव्यूलेटरी डे होता है? 28 डे साइकिल में डे 14 इज द ओव्यूलेटरी डे ना, ठीक है। लेकिन अगर साइकिल शॉर्ट हो गई है, समझो 22 डे की साइकिल हो गई है, अब डे 14 तो उसका ओव्यूलेटरी डे नहीं होगा। अब 22 से तुम माइनस कर लो 14, कितना निकला? एक मिनट में जरा हिसाब लगा लूं। ओके, अब इसका निकला डे 8, सही है। तो डे 8 विल बी हर ओव्यूलेटिंग डे। इसी तरह प्रोलॉन्ग साइकिल में उस 14 डे से ज्यादा आगे चला जाएगा, ठीक है। अकॉर्डिंग टू साइकिल्स होता है ओव्यूलेटरी डे। ओके, तुम लोग को अभी इसमें बेसिकली तुम लोग कंफ्यूज मत होना। यू जस्ट हैव टू नो अबाउट द हिस्ट्री पॉइंट, सही है, क्योंकि यू हैव टू टेक हिस्ट्री इन द OPD। अगर इनफर्टाइल कपल आ रहा है, यू शुड नो द हिस्ट्री पॉइंट, जो कि हमने बहुत ब्रीफली बहुत डीपली डिस्कस कर लिए हैं, सही है। इन डिटेल मैंने तुम्हें सब पॉइंट्स बता दिए कि मेल से क्या पूछना है, फीमेल से क्या पूछना है, एज अ कपल तुमने क्या पूछना है, उसको एग्जामिन क्या क्या करना है, व्हाट स्पेसिफिक एग्जामिनेशन यू विल बी डूइंग इन अ फीमेल, इन अ मेल। मैं तुम्हें एकदम स्लाइड स्टार्ट से लगाती हूँ। ओके, साइड से एक शॉर्ट इमेज देख लो तुम लोग। ये वह हमारा सिनेरियो था, ठीक है। अच्छा, उसके बाद दिस वाज द सिनेरियो। ये कपल हिस्ट्री तुमने पूछ ली, ये फीमेल से तुमने हिस्ट्री इंडिविजुअल पूछ ली, ये मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल, देन मेल से तुमने सारी हिस्ट्री पूछ ली। ओके, दीज आर द हिस्ट्री पॉइंट्स। देन व्हाट एग्जामिनेशन यू विल बी डूइंग, ये तुमने देख लिया। इन अ फीमेल, इन अ मेल तुम क्या एग्जामिन करोगे, ये तुमने देख लिया, ठीक है। उसके बाद तुम्हें ये पता होना चाहिए, ये सब ये तुम्हारे लिए नहीं था, ये आई हैव जस्ट मेड द स्लाइड टू नो कि क्या कैसे तुम्हें पता चलेगा कि भाई क्या कहाँ से क्या हो रहा है। ओवरी से क्या निकल रहा है तो वो फेलोपियन ट्यूब से उसको गुजरना है, तो यूट्रस में आना है। तो यहाँ 3 जगह अगर कोई मसले मसाइल हुए तो इट कैन इम्पेयर हर कंसेप्शन, ठीक है। अच्छा, इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफ द कपल मैंने तुम्हें बता दी। ओके, ट्यूबल पेटेंसी में तुम क्या क्या टेस्ट कर सकते हो, हर टेस्ट नहीं करा लेना भाई, जरूरी लगे तो कराना। अगर तुम्हें लगे कि इसको PID की हिस्ट्री है, इसको TB की हिस्ट्री रही है, इसको एंडोमेट्रियोसिस की हिस्ट्री है, देन यू विल बी चेकिंग ट्यूबल पेटेंसी टेस्ट। अगर उसको प्रीवियस कोई हिस्ट्री नहीं है इस तरह की, तो यू वोंट बी गोइंग फॉर दीज टेस्ट, सही है। इसी तरह ये वाले टेस्टों में भी तुम्हें हर किसी के नहीं करा देने, सीरम प्रोलैक्टिन, थायराइड, तो सब कुछ, ठीक है। बी स्पेसिफिक अकॉर्डिंग टू योर हिस्ट्री। ओके, अल्ट्रासाउंड तो तुम सब में ही कराओगे, बिकॉज यू नो द यू वांट टू नो द एनी पैथोलॉजी एंड यू वांट टू नो द फॉलिकल इज फॉर्मिंग और नॉट, ठीक है। मेल में सीमेन एनालिसिस इज अ मस्ट, लेकिन ये टेस्ट हम अकॉर्डिंगली कराते हैं। अगर सीमेन एनालिसिस इज एबनॉर्मल देन वी गो फॉर FSH टेस्टोस्टेरोन, सब में नहीं करा लेते, ठीक है। देन यू शुड नो दीज कॉजेज, ये कॉजेज तुम्हारे दिमाग में होनी चाहिए कि एनोवुलेशन की क्या क्या कॉजेज हैं, ट्यूबल कॉजेज क्या क्या हो सकती हैं, ठीक है। देन यू शुड नो द मेल कॉजेज एज वेल। मेल को हम गायनी में इतना लिफ्ट नहीं कराते, बट यू शुड नो द कॉजेज फॉर ऑफ द मेल एज वेल, बिकॉज दोनों दोनों के उससे कंसीव होगा ना, कोई फीमेल से तो अकेले से नहीं होगा। ठीक है, यू शुड नो, यू शुड, दिस इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट कि यू शुड नो द सीमेन पैरामीटर्स, व्हाट आर द नॉर्मल सीमेन पैरामीटर्स, बिकॉज अगर कोई रिपोर्ट तुम्हें लाके दिखा दे, तुम्हें पता ही नहीं होगा नॉर्मल क्या है, तो अब नॉर्मल कैसे बताओगे। ठीक है, ओके, ये हो गया। देन हिस्ट्री हमने कर ली कि हमारे पेशेंट में ये था, इसका हस्बैंड 42 ईयर्स का था, शी वॉज 31 ईयर्स ओल्ड। ठीक है, और ओव्यूलेशन इंडक्शन कुछ भी नहीं ट्राई किया था, सिवियर डिस्मेनोरिया डिस्मेनोरिया था। अच्छा, फिर ये हमने ये सब, हमने सिनेरियो अपना एंडोमेट्रियोसिस पे बना लिया था, उसको हमने फिर उसके अकॉर्डिंगली मैनेज किया। ठीक है, अगर कोई और कॉज होती, पीसीओज होते, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली तो मैनेज करते, अगर कोई और थायराइड कॉज होती तो तुम थायराइड को ट्रीट करते। ठीक है, फिर तुम तो नहीं शुरू वो करते ना, कोई सर्जरी तो नहीं करते ना थायराइड, अगर हाइपर हाइपोथायराइड मिलता तो। हाँ, अगर वाइटर होता तो यू शुड विल बी गोइंग फॉर अ थायराइड सर्जरी इफ नीडेड। लेकिन अगर थायराइड कॉज है तो तुम ओवरी की तो सर्जरी नहीं करोगे ना, यू विल बी ट्रीटिंग हर अकॉर्डिंगली, थायराइड को ट्रीट करोगे। अगर उसके ट्रीट होने के बाद ओव्यूलेशन रिज्यूम हो जाती है तो ठीक है, अगर नहीं होती तो यू विल गो फॉर ओव्यूलेशन इंडक्शन। क्लियर है? ओके, इफ एनी वन हैज एनी क्वेश्चन दे कैन आस्क। मेरे ख्याल में अब टाइम भी अप हो गया तुम लोग का। अब क्लियर का मतलब ये नहीं है कि क्लियर बस यहीं तक क्लियर है, तुम लोगों ने ओपीडी में आके लेनी है, मैंने चेक करना है तुम लोग की हिस्ट्री। Okay, no further questions. So I think I should end the session because the time is up now.